Busan, a city on the southeastern coast of South Korea, was once a sanctuary for Korean War refugees. 70 years later, the city is an economic powerhouse vying to host a global expo. Our Annalisa Burgos explains the amazing transformation.
I'm here at the United Nations Peace Memorial Hall in Busan, which honors the memories of the UN forces who fought for South Korea when North Korea invaded in 1950 and started the Korean War. Here, exhibitions tell the story, the history of that dark time, and educates the young generations who may not have connections to the forgotten war.
Korea was liberated from Japan in 1945. When I was born, Korea was one of the most poorest country in the world. So I had to study very hard. And then we are the generation who restored our country.
An economic transformation, the Korean government says, made possible by the sacrifices of strangers. Specifically, 11,000 troops from 22 nations who died while fighting for South Korea's freedom under the UN flag. More than 2,300 of them are interred at the 35-acre UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan. Half the countries repatriated their fallen. Established in 1959, it's the only UN cemetery in the world. Names are engraved on a remembrance wall by country, and for the U.S., by state. We were part of an international press tour where Korean officials shared Busan's rags-to-riches journey, from a refugee town dependent on UN aid to the 7th largest port city in the world.
And we're going to ride this boat right here. They're going to give us a tour to show us how the development of the new North Port is coming along.
Officials hope to host the World Expo in 2030 and are spending about $5 billion to redevelop this area with a marina and sports hub, cultural center with opera house, and a floating city to serve as a model for nations dealing with climate change.
Busan is a maritime city, and we are very exposed to climate change and rising sea level. And in this regard, we have pondered how we are going to respond to such the crisis, and from the energy, food, waste to water, the city will generate and treat by itself.
Member states of the BIE, the governing body of the World Expos, are scheduled to vote for the host city for 2030 on November 28th. Busan is up against Rome and Riyadh.
This space will pay homage to universal human values such as democracy, liberty, peace, and human rights.
Officials say being host would bring Busan's success story full circle and honor the Korean War veterans who started it all.
They feel so happy because when they see a dramatic change of the South Korea from the whole destroyed country to now. Busan was kind of the last bastion during the Korean War, and also after our liberation and also the independence, Busan has led Korea's economy. Also, Busan received the aid from the international community.
Even more symbolic, as 2030 marks the 80th anniversary of the Korean War.
Busan is becoming as the nation's first smart city, a representative model of the future. And basically, I would say that Busan shows the past, present, and future of Korea.
Reporting in Busan, Annalisa Burgos, Hawaii News Now.